Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 8th grade concept of representing linear proportional relationships. This is standard 8.5a in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 41 off the 2019 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we have a map scale here, and we've got 2 inches represents 60 miles. And that's all we're going to get. But we do need to graph this, and it's going to give us at least, even though we could look at it from the graphs, but they do tell us in the problem that x is the number of inches, and that y is the distance in miles. Okay, so obviously we can take a look at our graph options here. We notice that all of our x-axes here have that inches, but it is nice to go ahead and have that verified in the story problem, and all of our y's are going to be the actual distance in miles. All right, so what we can do here is we can take a look at, if we wanted to look this as just a set of x, y coordinates, right? We can look at it as 2, 60. That's what they give us. They give us the 2 inches. They give us the 60 miles. We can also infer a few other things. So we're looking on a map scale. It does not necessarily tell us, but we just know from our own background knowledge that we are going to have the same rate. So we're not going to have 2 inches represent 60 miles in one part of the map, and then 5 inches represent 60 miles in another part of the map. So if we can get down to our unit rate, right? So let's see if we can find, we've got our unit of, our constant of proportionality, something we looked at last year in 7th grade. Right, so that's going to equal 60 over 2. So it looks like our constant's just going to be 30. And then the question is what form are we looking at here? So are we looking at your slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, or are we looking at direct variation, y equals kx? Obviously, we've got 2 different letters here, but m and k both represent that slope, right? And all of these graphs have slope. They are all linear. They're all straight lines. The thing that makes these 2 different is this right here. Does this have a y-intercept? Or is it direct variation, and is it proportional going through the origin, right? Because this right here, this top one right here, would be non-proportional. And I'll just kind of put non-p right there. And this one is proportional. And so how do we tell the difference? Well, think about it on a map, right? What happens if x is 0? If you have 0 inches, 0 inches equals, would you have 0 inches equal 5 miles? 0 inches equal 100 miles? No, that doesn't make any sense. We can just infer that 0 inches equals 0 miles. So if x becomes 0, y becomes 0, which means we're going to be looking at proportional graphical representations, which means we need to go through the origin. We need to have 0, 0 as an option, and that's helpful because look, now we can get rid of b, we can get rid of d. Both of these are slope-intercept form, both of those, and we don't want those. So let's just graph the one point we do know, 2 and 60. So I'm going to do it on A, 2 and 60. Looks like it's right about there. It's not going to work. Let's check my C. 2 and 60 looks right about there. All right, so since it's proportional, what if I double it, right? So let's see, 120 over 4. Yeah, it looks like it goes right through there. All right, so looks like my answer here is going to be C.